All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and non binary, interplanetary, intergalactic time travelers. We salute you. My name is Oliver, and I'm in the People's Republic of Multnomah County, or the Republic of Portland, depending on how you look at it. I like to say I'm in a bunker called Studio 72. And I finally got my ballot. I was a little surprised because everyone was posting about their ballots, and I hadn't got mine. And I was like, boy, I hope there's not some sort of a tomfoolery or something going on. But I thought I would go ahead and just share my thoughts on different measures, the elections coming up, both on the local, the state. There's some state issues and people, candidates, and then on the federal, which that one's fairly easy, really. Well, it's not easy, but not super complicated. Not like some of these local measures. I was like going, wait, what? Totally bizarre. And then I've got some flyers and some things that they've sent me, and I thought, like this one here, is huge. Look at this. This thing pulls out. Some big old dog. It's talking about 118. Major 118 is a massive tax on sales. It's corporate tax, which, that's kind of an interesting way of writing it because Oregonians do not like sales tax. We don't have sales tax here. In fact, Governor Barbara Roberts was probably lost her reelection, second term, whatever it was. I think it was second term, because she was pushing sales tax. And we're allergic to sales tax here. So it's kind of interesting. You see that all this money being dumped in on language like that. Sales tax, tax and sales on the state. But the bottom line was, what's really weird about that one is they want to give money to everyone, no matter what income they are, if they've been in Oregon for 200 days. So, right? Anybody that's been on tour or whatever, tour, anybody that's been on vacation from Mexico coming on up, 200 days? You haven't even been here 1 year, and we're going to start paying out everybody that's only been here for 8 months. What is that? 8 months? 7 months? 7 months. You've been here 7 months. Okay, you get your check. It's totally bizarre. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Why you would do that, sending checks to wealthy people. It just seems so damn weird to me that, and I didn't really want to get into that one. It's a big, huge time consumer, but okay. So let's try to get focused here. I've got the voters pamphlet I want to walk through. It's been like 35, 40 minutes just trying to get this thing all set up with the lighting all right. And I got this light over here in my glass glare, and then it's falling down. Good grief, man. What a bunch of flip-floppy. I was ready to go at 10, and now it's almost 11. But I did want to get some of these, just my thoughts. Now, see, I'm an independent. I've been an independent for 30 years, 50 plus years old, been a native Oregonian. I would spend my summers in Idaho, but I was going to school here in Oregon, and I've got multi-generations of Oregon all the way back to Clark, from Lewis and Clark, the early days, the explorers, I guess you could call them, or colonizers. That's the trigger word, is the colonizers. Those are my ancestors. Richard Clark was my grandmother's father, who worked up at the Timberline Lodge, doing some artistic mosaics and some different things. So he helped build Timberline Lodge, and that's kind of my big connection to not only Mount Hood, but Oregon and in this area. So anyway, I'm just giving you a little bit of background. You don't know me, who the hell is this guy? It's the independent perspective. So I'm not Republican. In fact, even more so, I've been fighting establishment my entire life. So that's where my perspectives come from. I didn't trust Bernie Sanders. I knew him as a fraud because he's been one of the top DNC bundlers for 25 years. This guy is a company man, and he branded himself and confused all these people, and people really don't pay attention. They really thought he was doing something that was real and independent. It was a fake revolution. It was a faux candidate. He was running everybody back into that Democrat corporate establishment of the apparatus of the party. It's very unfortunate. Much like Rep AOC, and she came out, guns blazing and blasting, acting like she was something new, and she was going to tell these Democrat corporate shills what to do and all this stuff, and lots of spunk and attitude, and it's all bullshit. It was all bullshit. Look at her now, backing Biden, totally backed away, and everybody that had supported her and uplifted her, she's betrayed them over and over and over again, repeated betrayal of the voter bloc. Well, Rep AOC carrying water for Bernie Sanders, that's where this all came from. And so these corporate shills. The reason I bring up Bernie Sanders is because I see the burners in the voters' pamphlet. I see top bundlers for these guys who pretend to be against the system and the machine. Yay! Great Bernie Sanders, our great revolutionary leader. DSA, yeah, these Democratic Socialists of America. Wow, yay, communism and all this. All those dipshits are getting herded like cattle right back into the Democrat corporate apparatus of capitalism. Capital Democrat Party is trying to make you believe that they're socialists and communists. I mean, come on. Maoist and Marxist, just duping the shit out of people. It's really tragic. But that's, my spidey sense goes up with these Bernie folks. And that's exactly how we got the Marxist Commissioner Hardesty that did so much damage. Just stood on the steps of the federal courthouse encouraging, condoning violent anarcho-communists to blow up the federal courthouse. She was there. It's on film. She can't deny it. And then repeatedly, as she was seated, they took the Bernie Sanders, let me back up. They took the Bernie Sanders voter bloc, all those donors, all those people, all that money, and took those lists and then stole it. Really, I consider it theft. And then applied it, reached out and said, oh, Joanne's going to continue our revolution. And yeah, Hardesty's Bernie loves her and she loves Bernie and all this other crazy shit. That list is what they stole, is how she got elected. Not only did she have name recognition, not only did she have the identity politics going for her, but that's how that happened. And that's what we're potentially looking at with these shysters and these fraudsters coming in and being seated on the Portland City Council. That's a great concern to me. It's a great concern to me. I trust a Republican or conservative or all these other major type of framing. I like libertarians a lot. And this really looks like the election for the Libertarian Party of Oregon, both locally here in Portland. There's a couple of folks and state reps running for Congress, Sonia. There is some really powerful, persuasive to people like me, the independent libertarians. And so that could be a theme throughout the country. I have no idea. I'm just speaking on my perspectives on what's going on here locally with these in state, but state is local in a right. But when it's like local is kind of like county, city, and the state. So running for federal office. But so I've got all this kind of stuff. I just kind of wanted to blast through. Not sure totally where to start. Let me just show you briefly. I've seen a bunch of pictures of this. God, my ballot is already falling apart. Look at that. See this? Look at this. Wow. Bummer. I hope that doesn't screw things up for my ballot, because if it doesn't go through the machine to be tabulated tabulation. They might just kick it out. That's really unfortunate. I don't think you can tape it either. Wow, I didn't see that rip happening. That's really unfortunate. I wonder how many other ballots are ripping at the seam like they're on the fold, because that's on the fold. I didn't do that. That came on the fold. But anyway, that's a side note. I didn't even mean to bring that up or whatever, but it looks like running for mayor, we're looking at 20 some odd names. And people are really overwhelmed. They don't understand this ranked choice thing with 20 names. It can be very confusing to people that have never heard of ranked choice voting or instant runoff voting. I like star voting, FYI, score, then automatic runoff, STAR. It's a little different. That's going to be confusing to people too, because you rank people from 0 to 5. If you love them and you just the best, you give them a 5, like you would a 5-star hotel or a 5 stars for a movie or a restaurant. It's that 5 stars. I like that. There's benefits to that. I won't get into all of that because that's not my pitch right now. I'm trying to just kind of get through this local elections, but STAR is a form of instant runoff voting, IRV, instant runoff voting. And so is ranked choice voting. What that means is there's no primary. Get rid of the primary. Why is that a benefit? Because you don't have 2 candidates to pick from that you don't really like, or 3, if just a couple. You have a whole bunch of names without a primary. You have a whole bunch of names to select from, and then you pick which ones you like, rank them, score, which is like ranking, but a little bit different. And then for mayor, or I'm sorry, District 3. I'm in District 3, so there's this map that they sent out here. And so this is Portland. Whoop, everything's reversed. This is Portland. So you can see here's 3, and they've cut it right along. Looks like 82nd and I-205. This line here. This is so confusing being backwards. Oh my God! So this line right here. This is the Willamette River, west side, which I think this should be divided. But anyway, if you can see that, this is 3. This is out further towards Gresham. This is going up north. So that's how they did that. So District Seat 3, which is District 3, this is a part of the new format for Portland. So there's going to be 3 people seated. 3 people seated representing 1 district. 12 council. So there's more voices, more diversity, more unknowns, unknown candidates. You got to do a little more digging on them. If you don't recognize them, don't know them, you got to do a little more digging on them if you can. Sometimes you can't because they didn't make the voters pamphlet, right? And so you're not really sure, like, who are these unknown unknowns? Are they known unknowns? Do you kind of know who they are? Or are you just totally unknown unknowns? And that is a long list. These are all the names. And then this here is the ranking. So it says right up in here, I don't think you can see that, but say you would rank who you like 1. You would fill out this bubble, all these names. You would rank that as your number 1 choice. And then who you could like, maybe another one, a second choice. If your first choice gets bounced out, doesn't make it, then you got your second choice and a third choice. You could do up to 6 out of all these names. You could rank 6, right? So you got your mayor. Get your mayor. Got all those names. Same type of concept here, ranking. And so there's some different strategies to that. I don't want to get too much into it because I think a lot of people are really confused about how this operates right out of it. It's the strategic voting thing. It's really going to spin some heads on people that don't really understand what's going on here with this new voting method. But let me say this, okay? Rank your number 1 is going to be who you love the most. Maybe you worked on their campaign, you know who they are, or you've heard of them, or you saw them in a debate, maybe, whatever it is. They're your favorite, but they're not very well known, right? maybe. Let's just say they're not very well known, or they're not the top couple of people that are jockeying for the victory. So the strategy there is your number 2 is more important than your number 1 unknown person, because your number 2 is the known. You know who they are, and one of these names, couple of names, are probably going to make it in the seat in the office. They're leading in the polling. Get my drift? So if your number 1 doesn't come through, your number 2, you'll be exhausted on your number 1 pick. Those people, those ballots that get booted out on your number 1, they're going to go to the rank number 2, and those number 2s are now going to get pitched to the number 2 pick. They're going to be added to the total accumulation for the total victory. Okay, so for instance, I could rank number 1. Who am I gonna list? This is kind of an interesting thing. But in this, well, let's just stay with the mayor to make it simple here. So let's Liv Viva Astis, artist, love her, exotic dancer. I used to work security and be kind of a personal bodyguard in a way, and a driver for some exotic dancers long time ago, probably 20 plus years ago. But I did do that. 2005, what is that? Almost 20 years ago. I did do that. Just I had a lot of friends. There's a lot of dancers in Portland, and they need protection. They're at great risk of all kinds of whack jobs and stalkers and things like this. So they all need drivers. I have great respect for exotic dancers, and I consider artists. They're performing artists, and she is that. So I could list her as number 1. Okay, she's probably not going to have all the votes for victory, just on the polling numbers. She could take it, maybe not. So if I list her as number 1, she doesn't make it. My ballot, number 2, who do I really want to back and want to be the City Hall casino boss of Portland? At this point, in my mind, it's Rene Gonzalez. I think he's the best. He's got the most muscle and strength, psychological power, and I think he'd be most appropriate. I'm going to rank him actually number 2. I'm going to rank Rene Gonzalez number 2 instead of ranking him number 1. Why? Because number 1 might get booted out, and that number 2 might just be accumulated and add to Rene for the victory. See? So there's that type of strategic type of voting. Don't worry about it. Just vote how you like. Forget everything I said. But I did want to share that, though, because there is little quirks. That's a part of why I preferred the star to the rank. There is ways to manipulate ranked choice voting. And people are not going to like that. The people that their preferred candidate doesn't win, or somebody out of some unknown gets seated, people go batshit crazy. The establishment Democrats go bonkers. The establishment neocons, conservatives, whatever, they get real pissed off. They get pissy. And we've seen this in Alaska with Sarah Palin. Everyone else goes, "Oh God, Sarah Palin should have won," and while an indigenous First Nations beat her out with the ranked choice, and it sucks balls. And it's like, what if Sarah Palin was just a really, really bad candidate who abandoned her state in controversy with a corrupt governorship? All kinds of weird, shady things going on with sheriffs, and she abandoned Alaska. People don't forget that in Alaska. They clearly didn't forget what Sarah Palin, how she had treated them in her narcissist little bubble, because she didn't win. See, but that's a whole nother thing. But people use that. The Republicans, I've been reading that for years, actually. People have been hitting me with that when we talk about these ranked choice voting, instant runoff voting. But recently, I've had several people actually bring up Sarah Palin to prove that ranked choice voting is crap. It is some sort of liberal psyop that is designed to rig and further corrupt our elections here in Portland, Multnomah County, and Oregon. and it's just not the case. Okay, it's an abstract voting method to people that have never heard it. It's not a corruption. It's not going to rig it better for the Democrats. In fact, the reason the Democrats don't like it and they're now fighting it in the unions is because they can't rig it with the corruption with ranked choice voting. Consider that as a possibility. Now, it's always going to be union corruption and influence. So, there's all kinds of different dynamics. There's a lot of names on here. I have no idea. Shameka Beauty Asalam. Who's that? Not in the voters pamphlet. These are candidates for mayor. Sharon Nassett. I saw she's in there. What was the other couple of names? Yao Junhee. Yao Junhee. Who's Yao Junhee? Who's Yao Junhee? Not in the voters pamphlet. No idea. No press has touched them. No traction of any kind. But Yao Junhee, however you pronounce it, is on the ballot running for mayor, along with 20 other names. Anybody but Carmen Rubio. That's been my mantra. That's like the meanest kind of a block you can do to somebody is in a campaign. You just say, hey, vote for anybody you want to vote for, but vote for anybody but this person. Anybody but Carmen Rubio. I don't care. That's the one that we don't want in there. That's kind of my attitude. Again, these are just my perspectives. You probably feel much different. In fact, lots of people just love Carmen, including Liv Viva. She said at the debate, she goes, I really admire Carmen Rubio. She's just so amazing. And I was like, no, you're supposed to be the change agent, my lady friend. You're supposed to be the change agent. Carmen Rubio is the establishment hack that's banning leaf blowers because she's traumatized and they're in her nightmares and her dreams and they wake her up in cold sweats. The leaf blowers have got to be banned. Carmen Rubio, right? Carmen Rubio, not the leadership. Not a good leader. That really hurt. In my perspectives, I don't know if anybody was even cared or paid attention to her. I think they hurt her. That really hurt Liv to being a change agent. And Keith Wilson really took advantage of the fact that he was a change agent. He talked smack about everybody, well, not smack, but he was very critical of the establishment, looked at himself as an outsider. He spoke as he was an outsider. Very effective. I've got issues with him. I don't want him as mayor, but there's some things that he's not he's not the worst. He's not a Carmen Rubio because he doesn't support Carmen Rubio. I like that about him. See that little bit? That's just me. So, and then with the City of Portland Councilor District 3, these 30 names is just absolutely, it's overwhelming to see that. I like it. I like the diversity. I know people are having this gag reflex, seeing that. They're seeing all these names, and it's just like their heads are spinning. The ballot is spinning. It's like, wow, what? You don't have to rank anybody you don't like. You don't have to rank somebody you don't know. You're not forced in to do anything. You don't have to comply. Well, you do have to comply in filling your ballot out, right? Don't do, what do they say right here? There's a whole thing here where they say not to do, or kind of instructions on filling out your Portland ranked choice ballot. Now, this came with my ballot, which is, it's going to be helpful to people. And it says right here on the inside of every ballot sent out, it's talking about things. Skipped rankings. Don't do that. There's consequences. It's going to bump up different names. You got to really pay attention to where you're ranking the people. Rank one, just one in rank number one, just one in number two, just one in number three. You got to pay attention. Don't repeat rankings. Don't overvote, meaning you're taking your candidate and you're putting them in, all of them. You're going to rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't do this stuff. So you do have to comply on that level. But you don't have to comply on ranking people that you don't like or you don't trust. Their establishment, they're with Bernie Sanders. They're a big bundler with Bernie, like this Jesse Cornett. Is it Jesse Cornett? Is it Jesse Cornett? I think it's Jesse Cornett. We'll look in the voters pamphlet there real quick. Terry Parker. See, nobody's going to know Terry Parker. I know Terry Parker. I know him from neighborhood associations, and he's old school Portland. I like him. He's an older guy, but he's actually been fighting the establishment and the elites in Portland for a long time. Somebody like that, only I know, or people that know him or work with him, he hasn't had a lot, zero publicity. None of the corporate media is going to touch on Terry Parker. But he's in the voters pamphlet, and his picture doesn't do him justice. He looks like an older guy, but it doesn't matter because I know that I like him, and I'm going to send him in there. I'm going to rank him somewhere. But then there's a whole bunch of them on there. I think it's Jesse Cornett or what was the other name? There was Brian Conley. Oh yeah, Brian Conley or Jesse Cornett. I think Cornett is the Bernie guy. These are establishment type of hacks. They're frauds. I'm sorry, but they're frauds. Anybody that pretends Bernie was real, meaning he was really running against Hillary Clinton, he was not the Pied Piper, as she wrote about him in the emails that were exposed, that got leaked out of WikiLeaks, the Pied Piper candidates, elevate the Pied Piper candidates. Secretary Clinton's campaign said, we've got to elevate them, elevate Donald Trump. They elevated Donald Trump, gave him millions and tens of millions. I don't even remember how much it was. Hundreds of millions of dollars in airtime, smearing him and attacking him in 2015, 2016. That's what helped elevate Donnie. That free advertising. When you're attacking him, you elect people. So, well, in his case, it happened. But what was I going to say about that? Anyway, this Jesse, I think it's Cornett. We'll look at it through here in the voters pamphlet on this guy on counselor. That's the other thing. I wish I could vote for some of these people that are in a different district, because there's a couple of them that are pretty good. Now, District 2, avoid this guy right here. And avoid Marnie Glickman. Look at her. She looks like she's out of a Word Girl cartoon with this white streak, skunk streak run up across her head. I mean, what a loon. I actually know Marnie, and she is a loon. She's coming to grab your guns. I've got an advertisement that she sent me, and I'll show you. She's with the Gun Grabber, National Gun Grabber Associations, and she sucks. Sierra Club backed her. Sierra Club's a total fraud. But this guy right here, this guy's actually dangerous. This Chris Olsen guy is full-on anarcho-communist. This guy is full-on firebombing 2020. He's been down there firebombing the federal courthouse, right? Throwing feces and urine balloons at the police, trying to kill police, trying to kill federal officers. I mean, these guys, they shot Christians because they were wearing a Christian hat downtown and executed them. Not him personally, but the people that he likes and hangs out with. Okay? People may not know that. I know that. I followed him before he blocked me. I followed him. We had back and forth. But he's an anarchist, and he's violent, and he's insane. So you don't want to rank those guys. This is District 2, which I'm in District 3. I can't even vote for him if I wanted to, which I certainly do not want you to vote for him. Nor Marnie Glickman. Marnie is establishment hack. Most of these folks are establishment hacks. But anyway, so that's District 2. District Counselor District 2. There's a lot of them. Wow. Now here's 3. We got, where is it? I like this Sandeep Bali guy too. Just, there's something about him. Steve Novak. Listen, we don't want to install that crazed pirate back into City Hall. He's already been there. It's totally counterproductive. Totally counterproductive to put that crazed pirate, Captain Hook, back into City Hall. He's an establishment hack. I noticed that he's focusing on grabbing people's guns. He's doing, that's what he does. He's an opportunist and a hack. He sucks, lacks any PR. The guy's horrible. I can't stand him. I really, he's always been, I was so relieved that he got voted out. I think that was Chloe Udaley, which she's got Udali's got her own issues, and she teamed up with the Marxist Communist Hardesty posse, and in fact, we got rid of her though. So we voted her out. Anyway, so the person who are we looking for? So here's the Terry Parker, right there. This guy is an independent, critical thinker that's been fighting the establishment elites of Portland for his entire life, decades. And he's active in the neighborhood association. This one right here, Angelita. This is another anarchist firebomber. She is directly out of Commissioner Hardesty's office. See, I know that. Most of Portland may not know that. A whole bunch of people see that as a positive. These Democrats think that's a positive. It's not. In my book, she's a violent whack job. All right. I mean, don't let the pretty lipstick fool you. She says here that she is the formerly unhoused person and queer woman of color on city council, making her an invaluable voice for the unheard at City Hall. That's code words for I am supportive of firebombing the federal courthouse and trying to burn it down. Okay. So this Brian Conley guy, this guy, PDX Real, and look at that guy. I mean, this guy, I wouldn't let your children even near that guy. And then this here, Jesse Cornett, this is the Bernie Sanders bundler, shyster, con artist, scammer. And you see, you can tell what's going on by reading, probably can't even see that. Reading the people at the bottom of all these pamphlets, all the people that endorse them. Who's endorsing them? Which unions? Is it the teachers' unions? Because the teachers' unions are out of control. We don't want to install and seat anybody that's with the teachers' union at all, period. We don't want them to have any more power because they're dominating our lives like totalitarian tyrants. They damaged our children. Teachers union. So right down here, you can see Joanne Hardesty likes him. Ooh, yeah, of course. They've been scamming this Democrat voting bloc here in Portland for a long time. Sam Adams likes him. Mayor Tom Potter. Dude. No. Sharon Mirren, Dr. Mirren, she likes him. So you pay attention to all those endorsements, and firefighters jumped on him there. Former Governor Ted Kulongowski. So anyway, this guy says right up there that he worked for Earl Blumenauer, National Guard. So go through there. You really got to pay attention. And anybody that has all these Democrat hacks and all these apparatus backing them at the bottom of the voters' pamphlet, don't rank them. Don't rank them anything. Don't rank them number 6. Don't rank them in 5th place. Don't rank them in 4th place. Don't rank them. Rank the independents. Rank the critical thinkers. Rank the people that are not going to follow orders from the National Democrat apparatus. You follow me? You with me there? They are being controlled. When they list all those unions, when they list all those Democrat hacks at the bottom of their endorsements, that's telling you they're not independent. They're not going to be able to think clearly. They're going to follow orders. They're going to follow their little goose step marching orders. It's been that way for 50 years here in Oregon, Portland, Multnomah County. Why would it change now? It's not changed now. This is how these are red flags that we look for. Who endorse them, right? I mean, it seems simple, right? People don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. They look at the face, they look at this, and they're not going through, and they don't realize that all those people that they're so proud of being endorsed by are the apparatus that is keeping It's oppressing them. It's keeping us down. It's keeping us from making real progress, not this faux corporate Democrat apparatus from the national level, from the state level, all working together in backy rooms, dark, smoky back rooms. This stuff, they work together, and you can't trust them. I can't trust them. So it's very, very important that you pay attention to that. Most people don't. It's really unfortunate because we could easily get stuck with some people. Now, Chris Henry here. Chris Henry is, I've known this guy for a long time, and he's a good guy. He is. We don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, but he made the voters pamphlet. He runs for a lot of stuff. In fact, every single election he'll run for something. He used to be a Pacific Green, and then I think he went progressive, and I think it might be independent. ChrisHenry.org is his website, but he would make an excellent city councilor. He really would. He's diplomatic. This guy is he's not bossy and mean enough for my liking. Okay, but that does make a very friendly peacemaker, a diplomat in a way. So there's all that. Now I had a few people that I was like going to target and give a heads up. Oh, I already have. So, but this Olivia Clark, Director Intergovernmental Relations, Governor Kitzhaber, and then you go down and look at the endorsements. There it is, State Rep Rob Noss. Oh, brother. All of them. You've got all the usual suspects. All the Democrat-controlling inside elitists that really don't want any of us independent voices. They don't want any of us that are looking for common ground and moderation here and trying to flip the tide in Oregon and Portland where we have some common sense rather than these historical Democrat loons that dictate our lives. Haven't you had enough of these Democrats dictating our life, our quality of life in Portland? I sure have. And if you have too, listen to what I'm trying to say. Don't rank these people, okay? Leave them off the ranking. Focus on the independents and the outsiders. Now, this one guy here, Tony Morse, District 4. Tony Morse, he's a recovery addict. He's you could see with his endorsements there, though, he's got the Democrat Party, Portland Police Association. That's pretty remarkable for anybody. Rob Noss in there once again. Oh boy, Robbie Nussy. Okay, but this guy right here is an interesting character. This Eli Arnold, Portland police officer. I kind of recognize that guy. I wonder who his dad is, because I'm probably old enough to know who his dad is. He looks really familiar. Community police officer, Portland Police Bureau. So that's going to get all the anarcho communists are not going to rank him. They're going to target him. But he was preaching about we got to work together and find some diplomacy. But which was good. He did some sort of a video post on his Eli Arnold on his X account. I think it was today or yesterday or recently. This is the one thing I was like, wait, what? Portland State University, Bachelor of Science, 2017, U.S. Army Military Intelligence Center. Oh, shit. UH-60 Black Hawk pilot and intelligence analyst. Right? And I thought, oh boy. You know what that means, right? I mean, he could very well be, well, I don't want to say it because I like it. There's something about the guy that I like. So even if, We end up seating some sort of CIA asset or some sort of NSA type guy, which I don't think he's NSA, but apparently he was in Afghanistan flying Black Hawks. I saw that he had some sort of a comment. People were talking about, oh, this is what he was lecturing to the Afghans when he was over there, and he says, yeah, actually, he goes, I was flying Afghans in my helicopter. I was flying them around. They were with us. He said it real nice. He's not like a big tough mean guy. And I thought, wow, that guy was in Afghan flying around, right? CIA asset, Afghani CIA assets, which now Joe Biden and Kamala have flown in hundreds of thousands of these unscreened, unvetted, angry Afghan refugees. A lot of them were on the CIA payroll, of course. After 20 years of ticking around there, they made a real good living off of that. But anyway, so Rene Gonzalez backed him. This is the Eli Arnold guy. Now, see, I'm not in District 4, so I can't even vote for him. Now, District 3, this Daniel DiMello, he looks independent to me from talking with him. Chair of Joint Office of Homeless Services. Thanks, right? But he posted some stuff about like they're not doing it right. He was either upset or disgruntled, and he kind of, there was something on X. This was months ago. He's got lesbian and gay backing victory fund. He's identity politics. That's who he is. But and this Portland has for a long time been a large gay and lesbian community, which is all good. I'm not a hater. My problems are with the trans community that has kind of taken over, and they've sabotaged, in my opinion, and the gay and lesbian community is kind of letting it go and being silent, which to me is kind of makes everybody all of a sudden children groomers, right? Because the trans agenda in the schools is clearly grooming type of energy. We don't need that shit in the school. It should be reading, math, and science. I don't want any of that indoctrination. That's why I'm so down on the teachers' unions. It is because of this indoctrination targeting our children. It's not cool. It's way beyond not cool. It's criminal. It's unethical. But Gonzalez backed him, Dan Ryan backed him, and Dr. Miren, who should really be chair of Multnomah County. She barely lost to the diva, Karen, the chair diva, Vega Peterson. Can't stand narcissists. I'm allergic to narcissists. I can see them and spot them, and I break out in rashes. I'm like itching. I start itching. I'm like, God, that bitch is a narcissist. I can smell it from here. I really don't like narcissists, man. And who does? It's like, fuck these people. They don't give a fuck about us. So, Terry Parker, you may not think that he is capable of doing what you want. He is. Rank Terry Parker. Avoid Steve Novick in District 3. Alam K. Azman from Somalia. I don't know. I know Kazi Jama, Oregon Senators, backed her. She doesn't have a ton of like unions and a bunch of folks that are all red flags endorsing her. It's hard to say, but it's very difficult to say, actually. I don't want to make any assumptions. Now, okay, so here's another one I like. It's all about artists. You see an artist, I recognize her. I know she's old school Portland. I've seen her play. I think she's really tall and thin, and I think she's a bassist. She's a guitar and amplifier repair person. I can't remember exactly all the bands and what she's doing. She's got a bachelor's in chemistry, which is just like remarkable. I totally recognize her. I think it's Bierwagen Melody. Ranker. Why? Because she's an artist. She's a Portland. Everything's reversed. Oh my God, my brain is like the other way. There, you see her? You see that? There it is. Anyway, she's in the voters. you better spend some time doing a little bit of research in the voters pamphlet. Okay, don't just go blindly walking into this one. There's too much at stake. And it's funny, I've been in Portland my whole life. Everybody looks familiar. It's a weird phenomenon. I don't think it's just pre-Alzheimer's or dementia coming on, although who knows, right? But I think it's you people, and then we age, putting on weight, or we lose weight, we look different, just aging. It's a totally different. But I can tell that I've seen them. I've either talked with them, or I've seen them around town. I've seen them at shows, or I've seen them on stage at shows, like this Melody Beerwagen. I like her. So, those are just my kind of things. I like Dan Ryan. Dan Ryan, if you don't know about Commissioner Dan Ryan, I believe his brother's name was Timothy. Got a bunch of Timothys in the family. And I believe his brother, I think it's his brother, died in a tent with like 60 cents in change in his pocket. I believe that was the story. And when Dan Ryan said that story, I can't remember where it was, I thought, forever he has influenced my perspectives on him. Because I've had a whole bunch of friends and family die on the streets of Portland. Okay? And anybody that has experienced that and has felt that, they have a perspectives that you can't get from any other type of school or training, life experience. It's something that just you never ever forget. That's why I like Dan Ryan. I like it. Now, I don't agree with a lot of his stuff, and there's probably some people down here. Let me look at his. Oh yeah, he's got Sam Adams backing him. Oh, he's got the Ukraine Nazi Vadim, who's running for Multnomah County. God, why do we need Ukraine Nazis on Multnomah County? Why do we need literally people that came from the Ukraine Nazi front line and Multnomah County Commission? We don't. We don't need that. We don't need that. Unfortunately, who that Vadim guy is running against, she's really bad, man. Now, this Mariah Hudson, here. Oh, there we go. Everything's reversed, man. It's so straight. You put the pointer down, it's like, nope, left is right, right is up, is down, left is right. I like her style. She looks familiar. It's like, maybe we dated in the 90s when I was drinking heavily or something. I don't know. I do know. I don't think that happened, but she really does look familiar. I've seen her somewhere. What I don't like about her is that she's OHSU Senior Healthcare Communication Specialist. OHSU needs to be shut down after a long Nuremberg-style tribunal for what they did advancing the mRNA experimental jabs. That was OHSU buddying up with Johns Hopkins. Anybody from there, especially communications, research, development, do not belong on any level of our government. Period. Okay? I'm militant about anti-OHSU, and she's from there. And she's got all the usual suspects, Tuitran, she makes shit. She's delusional, Tuitran. Anyway, so that's District 2. Again, I can't vote in District 2. There's a whole bunch of people that look absolutely spooky, really spooky. Like here, speaking of spooky, there's one, Jennifer Park. And you look at all of her, and yep, she was locked up and trying to blow up the federal courthouse, Mark Hatfield, in 2020. You can bet all fucking hell that was her. She was down there. And then here's Marnie. Oh, I already showed her. Jesus, God Almighty, Lord have mercy. You want to see that person at City Council seated and telling you what you can or can't do, and what? Fuck no. I'll show you a flyer from her. Anyway, so I think that's probably enough going through. Oh, yeah, here's another one. This guy right there. Avoid his ass. That right there is an anarcho-communist, violent sympathizer. Says right on down here, Sunrise Movement. Woo-wee! There he is. Carmen Rubio, Joanne Hardesty loves him and endorsed. Anything Joanne Hardesty touches, breathes on, endorses, hugs, spits at, anything close to her, rebuke it with every ounce of rebuke you have in your heart, mind, and soul. Okay? It's that serious. We're dealing with violent Marxists who have completely infiltrated with name recognition into dictating tyranny into our lives. And we saw it in 2020. They couldn't hide it anymore. They mask it really well until all shit breaks loose, and then you see their true colors, right? Samir Kanal. And there was another artist or two, Loretta Smith. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you a masochist? If you're a masochist and want to inflict great pain upon yourself and upon our community, upon City Hall, then rank Loretta Smith. We've already seen Hurricane Loretta Smith at Multnomah County Commissioners, right? And I think Deb Kafori at one point called her something bitch. It was the greatest moment of Deb Kafori's life, which I don't like her anymore either. Not because of that. I loved her for that. Something about heartless bitch or cold bitch or snotty bitch. And I fucking loved that. I was like, fucking A, girl. Deb Kafori fucking let it rip on a hot night. Called her a fucking bitch. And she acts like a bitch. I mean, she is a fucking ice queen, man. Why would you want to do that to our community in City Hall and out City Hall? Forget Loretta Smith on your ranking. Doug Clove. This guy, you're like, oh, who's this guy? I don't know about Doug Clove. Well, I like Doug Clove. And I like Doug Clove because listen to this. This is exactly what I was thinking. This guy, I read that and I was like, holy shit, I've been saying that. I just said it here. As you check out the candidates, this is Doug Clove, okay? Service Inspector, Portland Water Bureau. Oh, I think I've seen that guy. I know. I bet he, back in the day, I bet he's had drinks at either, because the whole Water Bureau, if you don't know the Portland Water Bureau, they're all heavy drinkers. This is out of all the departments, there's nobody that drinks more than the Water Bureau. And they're great guys. These are great guys. But every time when I used to go out, I had friends that have owned pubs and I used to drink like a fish. You see these, there's a whole crew of 10 or 15 of the Portland Water Bureau guys, or at least they used to. Who knows how many are still alive? I'm going back like 20 years. But Doug Clove, I bet, and there we go. See, I had a spiritual connection through the beverages with that guy. Here's what he said, though. As you check out the candidates, pay attention to their endorsements. Consider who's backing them. This is his statement in the voters' pamphlet. And whether that politician, interest group, or nonprofit has actually done anything for us in East Portland. Also, be cautious of my opponents who have the support of the Multnomah County Commissioners. That's a red flag for sure. I humbly ask. Doug Clove, CLOVE.com. Check him out and rank him. Let's get him seated, right? That's an independent, critical thinker, right? And he's saying exactly, the guy read my mind when he wrote his voters pamphlet. It's exactly what I've always said. And he's telling everyone, heads up, right? Heads up. So I have spent so much time on this local stuff here, but it is pretty important. There was another artist in there somewhere. And, as an artist, as a professional artist, I've had art collectives, Blue Catfish Studios, Blue Zen Project. I've had multiple art collectives on Hawthorne. I've had them on Belmont. Started on Belmont, and I was down in Eugene, and I came back, and I was on Hawthorne for 2008. Going back a few years, but it's been a while since I've been renting any property. I've been outpriced. Portland's property values have ran all of my artist friends out, if not killed them, either through depression and narcotics and alcohol, but literally ran my artist friends out of town because of the lack of affordable rent. There was somebody in there, I feel really bad. I should have put a little sticky note on it because it was really spot on. He was talking about we need to make art space affordable. And again, and I thought, man, I bet you he is an old school. Where did that guy go? But he was so spot on. If you find it there when you're looking through there, but he was one of them that said it. Oh yeah, here it is. Is this the guy? He says Alexander Landry Neely. Oh, he's running for mayor. And he says, what does he say? The arts. Okay. First of all, it's this guy who looks kind of like. You ever seen the series Trailer Park Boys? You ever seen Trailer Park Boys? He looks a lot like Ricky. You know, Ricky's always got like an open whiskey glass, you know, as he drives around town. It reminds me a lot of Ricky. Which it's a great show, but, you know, I don't know. He's an owner and a winemaker of Libertine Wines. Hey, that's pretty fucking cool. Winemaking and farming. This is what he says about the arts. I will elevate and celebrate our local arts. Wait, that's me. That's you. That's you. That's us. Musicians, creators, makers, and doers. That's us. The old starving artist trope will be a thing of the past. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We salute you, sir. The starving artist shit is really breaking us down, especially if we got youngsters. From public art projects to grants to youth programs and more, all good, all awesome. Portland will be known throughout the world, oh boy, for what we are. A city of creatives. Right on, man. Right on. Now I'd have to do a little more digging. He likes the Portland Street response. That was originally my idea, by the way. I'm the one that pitched that to Commissioner Hardesty and said, "Yeah, you got to have some people. You're all pissed off about people with guns. Why don't you send in create a different group of people to help out without guns?" She's like, sure enough. They took my idea and they called it Portland Street Response. Well, now after I influenced and helped create that, I don't want to fund them anymore because they don't like cops. They turn into this Marxist thing. They probably don't, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into a bunch of angry. They don't like guys. They don't like white guys. It's not true though. And then you got Rene Gonzalez, this guy. Anyway, and then did I show you that one? I think I did. The Live. Why is that like that? Oh, come on. There it is. Right there. Yeah, I did talk to her. I did talk to you about her. Occupation, artist. Let's seat the artist. Let's seat the small businessman. Let's seat the independents. Let's seat the creative geniuses that are unknowns from our community. Why not? Eventually I'm going to have to put my name into the ring and run for office here. With this 12, 3 seats in the district, it's calling my name. City Hall is calling my name. And I'm going to need your help. It'll probably be a couple of years, but we need to get in there and kick some ass in a friendly, diplomatic way. Martin Ward, I ran into this guy. He's running for mayor. I ran into him at the Belmont Street Fair, and he's all right. He's all right. Pretty sure that was him. Wasn't that him? Doing God's will. Not employed. Political campaigning research. Doing God's will. Whoa. He's kind of like a modern prophet, walking around in sandals. He doesn't have sandals on. Keith Wilson. Tui Tron. Mark Gamba. State Representative Mark Gamba backed him. Fuck that. Gamba is full on Marxist communist. In fact, where is he? Where is that guy? You've got to, let's try to get Gamba out of there. Is he in the other packet? Yeah, he's in this other packet. The state representative. I think he's on the other. There was 2 full of these voters pamphlets that came out. And Gamba, this guy, I met him at a couple different events and protests, and he's like, "Oh, I'm cool with socialism." I was there. I think I even marched with him and even took pictures of him. This was like 10 years ago or something. Little did I know that guy was a full-on fucking Marxist communist. Gamba. Mark Gamba. Gamba. We got to get him out of there. We got to get Gamba. Gamba the Goomba. We got to get rid of Gamba the Goomba. And then let's vote in this guy. So this is for, if you're in the 41st district, Elvis. Who doesn't want to vote Elvis? You don't want to vote Elvis into seat? You don't want to seat Elvis? Elvis is in the house, man. Elvis has left the building and he's running for office. Elvis Clark, which Clark is probably in my Clark family bloodline. We're probably relatives and don't even know it. He's a Republican. Oh boy, Republicans. Yes, Republicans. These guys have got some anti-establishment vibes at times. Not always, but at times. And not all of them. I'm not trying to generalize, but we're probably not going to get Goomba Gamba out of there. But if we could vote Goomba Gamba out, God, that would be good. It would be good. It's one of those things that it would be real good. This guy right here, Austin Daniel, this guy, libertarian, 46th district, running for state rep, acupuncturist. I love acupuncture. I just found a new acupuncturist. I haven't been to her yet. Named Scarlett, which I have a niece named Scarlett. I haven't actually met her, but I have an appointment with her December 5th. But acupuncture, I haven't had ever since Governor Brown said all these things were not a part of essential services. I couldn't go to my chiropractor. 2019 to 2020, it completely kicked me to the fucking curb. My health went downhill fast because we weren't essential services. I couldn't go to the acupuncturist. I couldn't do all these things because of this flu pandemic to do a coup for the elections was in full throttle. So, but he's an acupuncturist. And there was something that he said, wasn't it? Chinese medicine. He's got a doctorate and a master's in Chinese medicine, vocal music. So he's an artist. Austin Daniel. Let's get him in there. Get him in there. This dude is cool. I want to hang out with this guy. So Willie Chatson. Chatson is the usual suspect. He's got stoned out Jeff Merkley backing him. And fucking whack job Senator Ron Wyden backing him. Governor Tina Kotek backing him. Willie Chatskin. I've seen his cheesy little freaking commercials. Fuck that guy. Fuck Willie. Get the fuck out. 46th district. He's probably going to win because he's got all these. Here's Tuitron. Tuitron thinks Proud Boys are chasing her. Proud Boys are camped outside of her house, and oh my God, Proud Boys coming for her. Oh boy, where's the Proud Boys? Tuitron. Fuck her. And Travis Nelson. All right. So it's these guys. Okay, so now here, this is interesting. Are we going to go into what is this? U.S. Rep? Did we skip? What did we skip over here real quick? Let me double check. Oh yeah, there is. Okay, so speaking of whack jobs to avoid, right here. This is like the Wicked Witch of the West. You see this? It's always a red flag when you got the crazy scarf ladies. That's her, Dr. Natalie. Naturopathic medicine. Pacific Green Party. We have battled this hostile Democrat operative and mole for years. This woman has savagely, viciously attacked me, my character, ran several of my friends out of the Pacific Green Party. I'm a co-founder of the fucking party that she just imploded and completely destroyed. She's also under jeopardy of losing her medical license because of massive, inappropriate narcotics handling. Now, I don't know if she was trying to kill people, part of some sort of organ-assisted suicide thing, but she's under investigation and in jeopardy of losing her medical license because of this. She's a naturopathic doctor who's being investigated for narcotics, inappropriate handling of narcotics. That's a red flag, don't you think? Secretary of State, fuck her. Fuck Natalie. Dennis Linthicum, Republican. I'm going to go for that. I don't like Tobias. I don't like Tobias. And then State Treasurer. So right here, this guy, Brian. I don't know a whole lot about him. Republican Constitution Party, farmer, forester, business owner. He says a couple of things in this voters pamphlet that really resonated with me. He's got his family's Peggy and 5 adult children. Wow. I wonder if I know. Again, everyone looks familiar. I wonder if I know any of his youngsters who are all adults now. He said something. I don't know. Take a look at him. I like him for state treasurer. It'd be really good to get him in there. Again, we need some balance to all of this Democrat tyranny. We need to get some constitutionalist Republican type of independence into seats. Get them seated and in power. Okay, so this one here is really important. Is the Will Lathrop, and this guy Dan Rayfield is actually dangerous. I'm not kidding. This is a dangerous guy, and we've got to get Will in there. This is Attorney General. Again, let's seat some Republicans on the state level. I'm going to vote Republican on those state levels, right on down the ticket, I believe. Unless there was the Libertarian guy. Where was the Libertarian guy? And then this is Sonia. Sonia, she is awesome. I like her style. She's on X. She's a farmer and a butcher, and she does videos of carving up the meat and showing you how to do that. Awesome. Gives me goosebumps when I watch that kind of stuff. She's running against Lori Chavez, who has been funding Ukraine Nazis. She's funding us right into World War IV. Okay. And she goes, I'm bipartisan. She always posts on X, I'm doing all this great bipartisan stuff. No, what you're doing is you're catering to the establishment and you're making yourself look like an idiot. Okay. She was, what was she, mayor? Does she say here what she did? U.S. Congressman, mayor of Happy Valley, 2010 to 2018, 8 years, Happy Valley City Council. So, and that was a great place for her. And I think actually we should send her back there. She'd be great right back in Happy Valley, and you can get back on that city council, Lori. So this is U.S. Representative 5th District, and you got the Janelle Bynum. She went to Lincoln High. I think we're actually in the same class. I think we're the same age. I think she actually graduated, I think 1990 at Lincoln High. I think I know her, although I wasn't like super friends with her or at all. But if we're in the same class, if that's the same one. Senator Markley backed her, Wyden backed her. Very strange girl. She was very strange back then. And of course, I was extremely strange back then. And I was a character in high school. It's amazing that I graduated, to be quite frank. I mean, there was night school and summer school and stuff, and I still pulled it off. I don't know how I did that, but I did. It's pretty amazing. Lincoln High. There's a lot of powerful seated folks coming out of Lincoln. Right? Lincoln High. It's downtown there. So anyway, Going way, it's almost midnight. Jesus. Going way longer than I wanted to. Here's another operative to be avoided. You can't vote her out. You got to do a write-in. Why? Because none of the Democrats are going to run against her. They've coronated her. That's a coronation. Confirm. They've coordinated her. She's got Michael Denbrow backing her. She's been a rep now running for state senator, I believe is the story with her. Was she the one that was talking about Proud Boys coming for her? Just delusional shit. But they get these Bernie Sanders type people, and they pump a bunch of weird shit into their brains, and they think they're fighting some weird boogeyman because they're conservatives or Republicans or patriots. It's just fucking delusional. Sierra Club's backing her. Anytime anybody Sierra Club touches, spits at, breathes on, gets close to, avoid them. Sierra Club is one of the greatest grifts, environmental money laundering operations, right up there with Greenpeace. All that money they tell you they're going to put here in Oregon, all that money goes straight into a huge pack into DC and lines all the pockets of the politicians. Stop sending money to these people and stop coronating them when they tell you that they are backed by the Sierra Club. Right up here. You see that? Sierra Club. Right there. And who's that? It's the crazy, crazy lady, Marnie. Marnie! Look, I'm flying out. Marnie Glickman, keep this operative out of City Hall. Please keep her out of there. That's a Green operative, Democrat pretending to be a Green from 20 years back, went down to California, and now she's coming up every town for gun safety. This is a theme. Novick is pushing this gun control, all this shit. Their failures, their open borders, their narcotics that they've allowed to come in through their policies, through the Democrat policies, now they're going to try to blame it on guns, and they're going to try to come after you, the independent and the gun owner who has a right to self-defense. They're going to come after your rights and make you the bad guy because they fucked up. Their policies fucked us up. They fucked the country up. They fucked the city up. They fucked the county up. We're loaded with, why are people shooting at each other? Because they're running drugs from one side of Portland to the other side, and some other people are trying to get in on their turf, and they're having gun battles and killing each other in the streets of Portland. Nothing to do with the guns, because the guns have been purchased on the black market, which whatever your fucking silly ass thinks you can do to stop it cannot stop the black market. No. So I get sick and rebuke these people with these every town these billionaires, Bloomberg operations, as bad as Soros, in my opinion. But it's just delusional type stuff. She's a black belt martial arts instructor. Go back and do that. Okay, Marnie? Just go back and teach karate. Okay? Go back and teach black belt to people, because we don't want you in City Hall. All right? We don't want you anywhere near City Hall. Go back to California. Here's this. Did I show you that guy? Portland is worth fighting for. That's why I handed it over to the Democrats and destroyed everything you ever built for independence in Portland. I'm shocked that the firefighters are backing this guy. Teachers Association. Portland firefighters should know better than that. But there's a DEI tsunami that's washed over the Portland Fire Bureau. It's tragic to see. It really is. Lost its integrity big time, just like the police department. But my heart is with the firefighters, and that DEI tsunami with the firefighters hits me hard. It hits me hard because I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't need to get into all of that. But so where was it right here? Top aide to Bernie Sanders. See that? Who is Jesse Cornett? Top aide to Bernie Sanders. There he is. The shyster, the scammer, the snake oil salesman, and they love him. He's probably going to be seated. You look at the long list of names, all the Democratic establishment hacks that we are trying to get out of our city, out of the county, out of the state, because they are not diplomats, common sense, moderates in the middle, independents at all. They are taking orders from national. You better damn well believe that this goofball, look at that guy. Man, I wouldn't let him on the block near our children. Um, Fuck that guy, man. And when you see that they're there with Bernie Sanders type of operatives that are just they're designed as like I said, I'll repeat it, the Pied Pipers. Pied Pipers means that they're like, oh hey, we're gonna do a peaceful revolution. We're different. We're independent. We're gonna do progressive stuff. And all they do is they send you right back into the apparatus into Hillary Clinton. That's what they did in 2016. That's what that douchebag did in 2016, just like Bernie douchebag did. Sent everybody right into the queen of fucking slaughter and war. Hillary Clinton, Secretary Clinton. That's what they do. And what they do this year, they sent you right into Joe Biden. Rep AOC, her little, hey, we're different. We're environmentalists. And oh, wow, it's great. Follow us. We're the Pied Pipers for progressive change. What did they do? What did she do? She sent your whole fucking life, your future, past, and present, straight into the vapor hole of the Democrat Party apparatus. DNC, DCCC, all into a corporate vapor hole. Poof. Everything you worked for, everything that they told you they were going to help you establish and broaden and do, gone. Gone. They send you right back into the corporate established hack like Joe Biden. And they tell you, oh, we got to vote for the lesser evil because the boogeyman's going to bring us peace. So, boogeyman, Donald Trump's the boogeyman. We got to vote for all these other corporate hacks. Oh. So, fuck yeah. Right? It's a little long. I'll have to do a second video about the measures because there's some measures that I do want to deep dive and get into. So, yeah, it's right here. Yeah, there it is. Right Presidents, I am going to vote. I'm going to vote Republican on the top of the ticket there. J.D. Vance and Donald J. Trump. And what was the other one there? I guess I went through that. Treasurer, Secretary of State, Linthicon, Will Lathrop. I went through all these. I think I covered it. I think I covered up. There's some judges. Why isn't there more variety of judges? And this one here, this state rep, because that is my district. The guy that I pointed out, the Austin Daniel, the acupuncturist, artist, musician, libertarian, state rep, 46th district. I'm going to vote for him. He's going to be my future rep if it all goes well. State rep, 46th district. Anyway, that might be a good closing time here. It's kind of getting to be quiet time here. I'm way past quiet time. But this was that lady I was talking about that I thought maybe I dated in the 90s and had forgot. She sure looks familiar. She's a good looking lady. Here's her. I guess she's got a son or something. I like her. She's a cutie. But unfortunately, and she's just a total hack though. Although she's got support from Maps and Gonzalez. That's huge. Mingus Mapes. Lou Frederick. What a Travis Nelson. Tui Tron. All these captured Democrats following orders from D.C. into our local communities. Tanya Sanchez. God. She's running for District 2. She's running, and the big thing with her is the OHSU. All that shit's deal breakers too, but the OHSU communications, you have to pay attention to who they're sending in, who they're financing, where these people are coming from. Why are they there? Why are they running? They're not there running for you and me. They're there running for their corporate handlers, their Democrat corporate handlers. So pay attention to that on the voter's guide, right? And an hour and 20 minutes, absolutely brutal. I think that's it for now, though. This was interesting here. Steve Novick buddied up with this Kezia Bonner. I have no idea. I have never in my life, because we have 3 seats, we got multi seats, which is kind of like proportional representation here in Portland City Council. 3 seats in one district. Unfortunately, this guy, because of the name recognition, is Captain Hook, the pirate. I call him the pirate. Needs to walk the plank and stay out of City Hall again. But I've never seen them buddy up on a flyer where you have 2 people running for the same seat, buddied up on one flyer because they're corporate handlers. A new day for Portland, a new day for Portland, a new day for Portland is electing the old nightmare pirates that are walking the plank. That's the old day of Portland. We don't go backwards, we go forwards. Don't elect people that have already been there and done that, and we know who they are and what they're about. We don't want to do that. We want new voices. And I know that's scary because sometimes people will lie to us or they'll flip flop, or we just, quite frankly, with 30 names running, we don't know who the fuck they are, right? If they're not in the voters pamphlet, who the fuck are they? But take that risk of doing a little bit of research. It's better than electing establishment. Okay, so I think that's my final thing. Get all these flyers. They really did send us a lot of flyers. Anyway, God bless. Be safe. We'll talk soon. Been wanting to do that. Been waiting for my ballot to come. That's why I haven't done this sooner. But I've been wanting to do this kind of just a little chat and spray about our local politics and all the politics really, but the local stuff is significant. This is a very historical moment in Portland history with this new voting method. Not only are we using ranked choice voting, but we're using a multi-seat type of, which it resembles kind of a proportional representation. It's never been done in the country. It's probably never been done in the world. Nobody has ever had multi-seats for one city council district, ever, that I'm aware of. If there is, I'll be corrected. We're doing 3. There may be 2 somewhere, but we're doing 3 representatives. Total change and overhaul of the Portland system that I advocated and encouraged for years to see happen. We needed this. We've been dealing with our entire lives in Portland have been controlled with 3 seats. We had 4 seats in council, and with the mayor, there was 5 votes. That means the majority, 3 seats, 3 voices of people we don't give a fuck about and probably don't like, are dictating our lives, have been dictating our lives for hundreds of years here in Portland. That all changes. That all changes. So even if you don't like the ranked choice voting, appreciate the change that we are bringing on the city. I think it's going to be positive. I think ranked choice voting will warm up on people. I hope it does, because it's a much better method than first past the post, winner takes all. It's a much better way to do it. But that is debatable. And like I said, I actually fought against and debated and argued ranked choice voting, folks, because I joined the STAR team. I was actually on the board a couple of years, score then automatic runoff. But it is what it is. This has come down. The charter brought it in, and the people voted on it. We all wanted change. This is a change we can change and modify. I think we can, if you want. But let's take it slow instead of just digging a hole and burying it and saying Sarah Palin didn't win in Alaska, so the whole fucking thing sucks balls. It's not true. It's not true. Sarah Palin sucks. Anyway, I'm out of here. Peace out.